And if we're ever going to have that civil debate that my constituents requested of me, we have to appreciate where everybody's coming from and not call each other names and not misconstrue our motivations and not accuse each other of doing terrible things to one another just because we're not getting our way, because we refuse to acknowledge either what something does that we hadn't thought of, or we refuse to do something that we absolutely know it does to advance it. This rules change is not about the ERA, though. It is about how we conduct our business in this body, how we have for 400 years, the precedent, the protocol, the procedure of this House. And I have never seen or heard of anybody making a specific rule change to advance a specific piece of legislation embodied in that rule change. I've never heard of that. And there is no bottom to that, Mr. Speaker. There is no end to that, where that can go, if that is the way the other side of the aisle wants to play that. There's no end to it. How do we conduct our business if that is the way we're going to do things, simply because, oh, I have this other thing I'd like to put in the rules now, and we'd have it immediately considered by everybody? That's not the way we do business, Mr. Speaker. And I would urge the body to defeat this rule change.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Mr. Speaker, speaking of the resolution.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, I want to speak specifically to the rules change itself and be clear about what this is. It's interesting that the conversation's gone where it has, because this is likely our opportunity to vote here on the floor about whether or not we want to give folks an opportunity to vote on a very popular resolution that came out of the Senate with overwhelming bipartisan support, and whether we'll have a chance to actually cast that vote and indicate our preference on that. No, I've never heard of anybody doing it quite this way either. And I've done a lot of research. I spent a lot of my weekend going back, through manuals of the House and Senate, for about 100 years, trying to figure out where these rules come from and how they've gotten to be the way they are. And as I said yesterday in my remarks, the problem we've got here is that the rules have always been intended to give voice to a majority of the body, and to allow the body to take votes when necessary, when the leadership of the majority party wouldn't let things come forward. And we have a discharge rule that allows us to do that, and it applies to bills. And I've got a rules change coming up later that I think corrects what was a technical error. But the reason that this rules change was crafted the way it was is because of the debate we just heard between the gentlewoman from Prince William and the delegate from Shenandoah. This is likely your opportunity to vote on whether you think the ERA should be ratified by the people of Virginia or not. And so make no mistake, when you cast this vote, that is exactly how we're going to explain it to the folks back home on what this vote means. And so I hope it'll be the pleasure of the body to vote yes to this resolution, so that a motion later in the morning hour will be in order to bring a Senate joint resolution forward, so that once and for all we can let the people of Virginia know where we stand on the ERA. If you don't like it, if you share the gentleman from Shenandoah's opinion of it, get it to the floor and vote no.